Hi, you guys. It's David, and I just wanted to share. I spent the weekend with a friend of mine, Trevor Thibodeau, and his lovely fiancée, Mira Black, and they led a enlightenment intensive event this weekend. And some people call it a Satori event, and they also had a fellow assisting them, Paul. Paul's this amazing man. He was, 76 or so, and he's done many of these intensives, and he was there assisting. And there was, a small group, and I've never really done a 3-day enlightenment intensive. And 3 days a bit of a lie, because we actually got there at 6 o'clock on Thursday night, and we did some of the work, and we didn't leave till after lunch today. And so we were there 4 nights, and I just want to tell you that in 1994, I know some of you weren't born then. In 1994, I did some of this work, and I'm a great example of why a little sampling of the intensive, it can actually have a negative effect, as opposed to doing the whole intensive, at least a 3-day, and Trevor's going to lead a 7-day in January, and I'm interested in that, but I did this little sampling in 1994, and I was in Bali, and are you sharing this? Oh, thank you, I appreciate it. I was in Bali, and I was with my friend and teacher, Paul Lowe. And Paul, we did like 30 days of intensive work, but it was enlightenment work, but it wasn't this kind of work. It was really, we every day we got to see ourselves and how we were hanging on to our belief systems, and how we were hanging on to our stories, and I was really kind of new to this work. I had been doing consciousness work, I thought, since 1980 or the late 70s, but Paul was another level for sure, and so 30 days of this work in Bali, and in the middle of it, he had a friend come and did some of this, where they asked the Zen koan, which is the question at that time was, tell me who you are, and it was kind of, we didn't kind of expect this guy, and he showed up, and all of a sudden, Paul had him in for a day to do 1 day of this, and it scared the hell out of me. Oh my gosh, it was too much. I just wasn't ready. I was, and I remember getting quite intensely overwhelmed and overcome, and I didn't know what was happening to my body, because it really had a physical effect on me, and so it was a very short sampling, and then I didn't even finish the day, and I swore in 1994 I'd never do that again, and it's interesting because over the years Paul has said many times that the enlightenment intensive, this intensive dyad work, was the quickest road to a glimpse of awakening, the glimpse of enlightenment. And so, and he said this so many times, and I've always just said, yeah, whatever. And, and friends of ours, Kira in Australia, and Paul's lady that he'd spent years with earlier, I forget her name, in London, have done them. And I've been invited to many of these, and always said, no way. Because in my mind, I had said no in 94, and I was never going back. And I have to thank my son Regan, because Regan had done this work in India, in Pune, and so I have to thank Regan. He about 4 weeks ago or so, I just had closed down the store, and Regan and I were sitting in the parking lot in a restaurant parking lot, and I was sharing with him, I didn't really know what was next and how it was going to unfold, and closing the store and all that had gone into. I was exhausted, and I didn't know what was next, and I was kind of a little bit stuck. And he said, you know, you need something to just shake the heck out of you. You need something to just really, you know, shake you up. And he said, what about the Satori event? And I knew what he meant. And I remember saying to him, no way. Anyway, so the story, he said, no way. And it's funny because he was sitting in the truck. He said, great, then it's on. And he didn't have any idea that my friend Trevor was doing one 3 weeks later. And that, you know, so I literally, the next day I called Trevor and I said, you know, is there room? I'm in. I'd like to come. And Trevor was really excited for me because he's been encouraging me to do this for a long time. And it's been coming at me in many ways. And so I just wanted to tell you that short story about how I got there and how I'd resisted. And, you know, this, for those of you who are on kind of on a spiritual path and want to make, you know, really have a drastic shift, this is it. You know, for those of you that are watching and thinking, you know, well, gee, I don't know that I want that. You know, I don't really want to, you know, go that deep. Then this might not be for you, and it's not for everybody, because it's intense. I can tell you that these, you know, we did, you know, 3 days, 16-hour days, boom, 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 and there was no talking, and no, it was what an insight, you know, it was with all contemplative time, so, you know, I had a you know, what we call a direct experience. And it came as a result of letting go, realizing first of all that I'm not my story. I'm not my story. Even all the story I just told you. I recognize how I'm addicted to experiences and addicted to the story and you know, addicted to stuff and relationships and all of, you know, addicted to knowing, you know, thinking I know. and it all dropped away this weekend. It was beautiful. And I just wanted to share it with you tonight because my experience is that it's powerful, and it's how it comes back. You know, I've been here before, and it you know, it kind of just comes back, so yeah, I just wanted to share while I was still in the state that, you know, when we let go of everything, and in this space where we were out in the country, it was designed for this, to let go of everything. Then we're left with, you know, the I am. We're left with the experience, and it can't be really talked about. It can't be really explained. I can't explain it. You know, I was kind of, you know, thinking something was going to happen, and it wasn't that it happened. It just, it was, I was in it. And so I don't know how to tell you about it, but it's beautiful, and it's who we are. And it's not just that, you know, we're connected. It's more that we're actually one. And the idea of connection speaks of separation. And so, don't know if you're interested in that stuff. But anyway, here's the deal. So I think meditation helps. I think that meditation on a regular basis helps us to feel the one, feel the connection, if you will. and now I've really just got a new tool to add to my practices in the morning. You know, if we're serious, you know, it's so easy to be caught in our story. You know, oh my God, I have to go to work. You know, oh my God, I'm alone. I need to find a partner. You know, all of that stuff that is part of our drama. You know, if we let go of all of that, the work will come. You know, the partner will come. You know, the good health will come. And or maybe not. but it won't matter. It just won't matter. And so I encourage you, the tools that I see that are part of awakening are, of course, meditation, but I believe it needs to be a practice, like a designated practice. We take our time in the morning to sit with intention to drop into that space and drop out of the busy mind, and that can happen in meditation. And we have a class, actually, our group, we meet here on Monday evenings. Actually, in a few minutes, folks will start to show up. You're all welcome to come. I know we'll outgrow our home, and we'll share it somewhere else. We'll find another spot that will come. And some other ways, I believe, to get there, to have a real awakening experience. I believe meditation, service takes us out of ourselves. We're helping others. Service is a tool. Of course, it's helping somebody else, but it's also helping you. When we give unselfishly, when we give with no thought of return, when we give without concern of the results, that's a beautiful way to let go of our story and let go of our needs, for recognition, or a need to be looked after, a need to be seen. We can just, focus on others. Another thing I believe that works is prayer. So prayer is kind of like contemplation, but with prayer and meditation, we drop in. We use the breath to be in the moment. When we're in the moment, we're here and we're present. The doorway can open to an awakened experience. I think lifelong learning, Eckhart and the reading, of all the great masters. There's so many, clues in the readings, and they lift our vibration. Hanging out with David Hawkins in his books or in his audios is a vibration lifter. Even our friend Tony, I think Tony's very high vibration, and Tony Robbins. So you might not think so, and that's fine. Being part of a 12-step group, the whole thing in the 12-step is that to gain a spiritual consciousness, a connection, a conscious connection, to live in a zone that we call the fourth dimension, so the steps in the 12-step group, even if you're not suffering from apparent addiction, I think we're all addicted, myself, to our story, to our beliefs, to our stuff, So to let go of all of those things, the 12-step program is an amazing process to do that. I believe that. I know that because I've been involved for many, many years. So there's more. There's all kinds of, lots of folks have been experiencing awakening with plant medicine, and there's the people, the teachers for ages have been using plant medicines for, they call it journey work, and it's an amazing process. Not for everyone, but the reports that I have on it is it's really an awakening process. So I'm sure there's others awakening processes that I've forgotten in this moment, but this weekend was outstanding. I'm going to support Trevor in a big way. My process is to help him to because it's really something, and it's such a short time. You go for like 4 days, and it's wow, and it's cheap, So if you're interested, I know another one I was going to say. Gratitude. Yes, yeah. Well, JR's here, and she said gratitude. Yes, extreme gratitude. My friend Dr. John DeMartini helps us write out all the things in any particular situation that we thought was against us, and all the benefits from it, until we get to a tear of gratitude, in that moment where it all crosses. It's amazing. And I've done this process. It is, the breakthrough process, amazing for having really an enlightened moment. It's like a bliss moment. So, and hanging with teachers that are carrying a message like this, going to be with high vibration people. Dr. David Hawkins talks about, and you got to read Hawkins. You got to read Hawkins. He's, Power versus Force and Letting Go and The Eye of the Eye. Amazing stuff. High vibration books. Very high vibration books. And he explains this, what it means to be in the presence of extremely high vibration people. So that, we actually, we take it on to be in that presence of very high vibration people. And so I encourage you to find those people and spend time with them if you're interested. And sometimes you just got to be tired with the way things are going. You maybe already have, the beautiful home. You may already have, the big bank account, and you may be married to the beautiful woman or the beautiful man, and still, really dissatisfied. And so I believe I call it the God hole, and it's like we're born, I think we're spiritual beings, and we come onto this planet, and we need to have that connection, feel the oneness while we're here, and the separateness of chasing the dreams, chasing the illusion is painful. And that's why, addicts drink and go to drugs. It's pain. It helps us to manage our pain, and so you really don't have to live in that pain. We make a decision to do the work and start the search, lifelong learning. I had a teacher years ago who said, "You'll never find it by looking, but you'll never find it if you don't look." And it was like, oh, fuck, a conundrum. Anyway, and so it's really been my search for since I was in my early 20s, and awakening, enlightenment. It can happen, and it doesn't mean we get to hang on to it. When I've had some very high vibration times in my life, and then I've lost it, and then I refocused, and banged my head against the wall, and all that, and like, what the hell is going on? Like, literally, not 2 years ago, I was sleeping in my store, and I was saying, God, what's happening? But I was so hanging on to this thing, this idea, and that it really took me down with it in a way. Or maybe I took it down with my holding. Who knows? But it's certainly nice to be free, and I expect that that I'm really excited about my future, even though there is no future. Anyway, love you guys. That's it. That's the message. I hope it's meaningful to you. The Enlightenment Intensive was certainly meaningful to me, and thank you, Trevor. Thank you, Mira. I hope I haven't said too much. Love you guys, and next time we're gonna, help you get more people in that room. I think we want to carry this message to more and more people. Okay, love you guys so much, and love it if you follow us on YouTube. Gotta put in a little plug. Come to our meditations on Monday night. Okay, cheers. Bye.